Hey guys, welcome back to Randomly Serious. It is your boy, the Prophet Seven,
I'm Cass or Kiss My Cass on the streams with Prof.
and this is episode two. Episode two, not all this of Randomly Serious. All right, so our topic for today is probably going to be my favorite. Is about my hatred for Ron Weasley from Harry Potter in the movie series. Keyword is in the movie series. This year was my first time ever watching all of the Harry Potter series, and I did not like Ron Weasley, but I was informed that he is very much different in the books, which I have found out he is, and we're gonna break that down today on why there's such a big difference for Mr. Weasley in this series.
Okay, I would like to say, as a Harry Potter fan from probably like this, I think my family discovered the series when the second book was published. So really young, like I was like second or third grade. Super fan, my whole family is. That we are aware of the author's thoughts and feelings on trans people, and we do not agree. And anything that I have, like this sweatshirt, I bought like 10 years ago at Universal Studios. The audiobooks that Prof are using are ones that I bought again years ago. And I would suggest that if anybody wants to get into reading the books or want books, go to thrift stores, used bookstores. You should be able to find them. You don't have to purchase anything. And I think that that's it. I just want to say that we do not agree with the author's point of view on things.
Yes.
But Harry Potter is such a big part of my life growing up, and it's been, I think, for a lot of people that have grown up with it, conflicting feelings and stuff. But everything I have already purchased it, and I do have critiques of the series, so it's not like I won't go against anything. And I think, yeah, that's all I have to say about it, and hopefully people can understand that. And just let us talk about this in a calm manner.
Yes, because again, everyone that I've ran into after watching the movies has a very strong opinion of Harry Potter. And as I remind people, I just watched the movies this year. Yes, they came out when I was in middle school, and yeah, I was not allowed to watch them due to family traditions, and of course they're like, it's witchcraft, you can't watch it, and I got kicked out of school for it because I was like, my grandma and uncles told me I can't watch it or I'm getting in trouble. So I'd rather get in trouble by getting kicked out than watching this movie. But
Oh yeah,
yes, so
I I knew quite a few kids that parents had that point of view, and then you have my parents who loved them, and we listened to the audiobooks on road trips, and all my siblings read them. My sisters and I, when we shared a room, would fall asleep to the audiobooks. And yeah, and we would go get the books at midnight.
man,
It was a big part of my childhood growing up. So, and I was obsessed with Harry Potter. I left like a um, church camp early to go get the last Harry Potter book. My dad came and got me. Got a little teased about that, but I'm like, I gotta go get the last Harry Potter book, guys. See you later.
right? Like it was definitely like I'll let my daughter watch it because the way it was described to me, I'm like, you didn't want me to watch Harry Potter as a kid, but Poltergeist was okay, and it's like
That's
it was. And I'm talking from like a like a God, what's it called? Like what should be appropriate? Because like I was terrified watching Poltergeist. Like, oh, you're gonna watch?
yeah,
It was like, wait, I can watch this movie. I can't watch
that seems
this.
a lot more demonic to me than Harry
Yes,
Potter.
yes, we had nightmares for years. Like my stepdad, he wanted us to watch this movie called House on Haunted Hill because he was trying to scare us, and it was just like, you want us to watch this, but this I can't watch. Yeah, that's evil. Like this is literally about ghosts. Like, okay, all right, oh, whatever. Now it's like, yeah, let's be more logical about our choices when it comes to movies for kids. But yeah, when I watched the first movie, I didn't know how to take it because it was so much information at one time. Like I've heard about Harry Potter, know part of the story just from listening, but to like see the movie, like the very first one, like I was hooked. I was like, this is actually got some good storytelling to it. Um, I was immediately like ready to like break Harry out of his house. Like, no, you can't stay here with, your relatives. They're absolutely horrible. Like, you're living under the stairs. Like, someone please call CPS because this is ridiculous. Like, I was there, and then it was, I'm like, okay, they're kids. Ron's not too bad. He's just a child. And then I watched the
Yeah.
second movie, and I was just like, okay, growing up some, but he is not being a good support to Harry. I'm really struggling with his character. By the fourth movie, I was like, I hate Ron. I hate Ron so much. I hate his character so much. I'm like, you are the worst. Like you're like to me, he was worse than Voldemort because as your best friend, for you to make a comment about that's why like your parents are dead is low, so low. Like I would never like angrily try to make a joke about something that a person cares about, like their family that's not there. And I was so disturbed, like, can we kill Ron off? Can we get rid of him? And of course, people are like, no, we love Ron. I'm like, I don't. I would never do my best friend like that. Like, use what hurts you the most. Like, okay, all right. And then, of course,
Yeah.
the clear up happens. And they're like, no, he's not like that in the book. And I'm like, nah. And then I start reading the book, and I'm like, yeah, no, they did him a great disservice.
I think one of the things with the Weasleys is with my family. There's 7 of us, but it's not just all boys and one girl. We have what is it? 4 boys, 3 girls. I am the only redhead though, so it's not a whole family of redheads. But we're poor, 7 kids. Dad that works really hard, but still just really poor grown up. Nate's favorite thing to do to me or say to me is he'll quote Draco Malfoy, the red hair
My God.
and hand-me-down robes, and he won't say you must be Weasley. He says you must be an Ellis.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
And I'm all like, he'll tease me about like, I don't want people to think that Nate's, I make fun of it myself and stuff, and my family will say stuff like that all the time and stuff. And I had hand-me-down clothes. It's just how it is and stuff, and so we'll tease each other about how we grew up and stuff, and it's totally fine. I am fine with him saying stuff like that, just so everybody doesn't go after Nate.
Oh, the comments are about Nate now. Oh my goodness. But it's like so, and like I think it was the first book like it felt like Ron was more because I haven't finished the second one and I haven't started the third one, but he felt like
Hmm.
he was more brave. And in the movies, he's like this comic relief, like
Yeah.
scared. But then you get to the end, and his mother's is complete beast. Like she's like, and I'm like, what?
Hmm.
Like, bro, like if like this is your mom, like she didn't teach you like how to, it's like, oh, but
Yeah. There's a lot of more like background in on the like Weasleys and like Molly's family in the books later on. And I'm trying to remember if it's just in the books or in some of the extra things that um J.K. Rowling has put out through the years, because she's like the one of the things that she used to do is on her original site she would have like little extra, like, oh well, I made up this biography for this side character and I chose not to go with this storyline with them, but I have this background for them, but their story was a lot smaller in the books. So here's this information, and she has a lot of that type of stuff. Like you find out more about these characters from the extra things she's written. And um, one of the things about like both Molly and Arthur's families are they are purebloods, and they are Molly's family is like actually has like I think pretty long line of powerful wizards and stuff, like re- respected. So it's interesting what you they cut out of movies, and like when you read the books, what gives it more context, and you get more of Ron's opinions in the book and thoughts on things, and like you understand where he's coming from more. I feel like in the books, not saying he's the best of friend in the books either. He still has his issues, but I think that more comes from you understanding his dynamic in his family. He's the youngest boy there, and he has really smart older brothers, and they're all accomplished. And then he has a friend that's
the chosen one.
like a celebrity and stuff. It's jealousy. He has a problem with jealousy.
So that was one of the questions that I actually had was, does movie Ron or book Ron, which one is actually more relatable as a character? Um, from what I've read, I'm kind of leaning more towards book Ron, only because
Mm-hmm.
there's more like emotional depth, like those things like they're growing up poor, like his siblings are doing well, and your best friend, like you said, is a celebrity, getting all this attention, and you're just kind of like stuck in like this space, and like that explains a lot more versus like in the movie there's a lot of stuff again that's kind of skipped. Like they run straight into, okay, we're here to pick you up. Let's get all your belongings. We're going to Hogwarts, and then like some of the emotional things don't show up till later. But then they're not as it's not as long or comprehensive. There's like little snippets, and then they go back to being close. In my mind, I'm like, oh no, we're finna talk about this. Like you're not, you can't make these comments and think that, oh, like we're good. Like no, no, no. Why would you say this to me? Like one scene comes up was like when they were dealing with the Horcrux, which I
Mm-hmm.
understand. It's the Horcrux, making him. I get it. If my Lord was here, she would probably try to smack me on the hand because she's like, it's the. I'm like, Harry's lashing out wasn't as severe as Ron's, even though
Mm-hmm.
everyone had to carry it. Ron's was so, and again, it could have been pent up frustration, pent up like jealousy, but it was just like he lashed out so hard, and like they don't really show Harry like really like responding. Like I think I would respond. I would have probably start screaming and yelling, But again, maybe they're super mature and like it's just the Horcrux making you say these horrible things. Like no, like don't say that to me at all. Like what are you doing? Like you should have more control. But again, that's just the writing. And yeah, I think book Ron is more relatable to me at least. Like, cause I guess they give more detail to his backstory. Cause I was like, I do not like this character in this movie. Like, he's pissing me off.
Yeah. He he does like more in the books. Like I feel like in the movies they yeah, he is used for comic relief and they kind of play that up a little more cuz and they don't really go into how much of a I guess wizard's chess like genius he is. He actually is real like they talk about that throughout the series. Like he actually is
Very
really
smart,
good and
yeah.
that like that shows like smart. He's just doesn't like doing work at school. And I think that's a lot of the stuff. So like but they kind of I feel like play that up in the movies a little more and stuff and not show that side of Ron. And while there's definitely things you can critique him on in the books, they just I feel like make him a little more whiny in the movies.
Yeah, I was looking at some reviews and looking at some other people's like their thoughts, and everyone had a similar thing about in the books. Like he's got strategy, he's more brave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's not as much bullying of him in the books versus in the movies. Uh, like Hermione, when she gets bullied, he's like in their face, like protecting her. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
in the movie, I'm like, Ron, she's protecting you. But again, there are certain movie aspects that I know they're using for the movie that aren't necessarily true in the book series.
Mm-hmm. His and like I think as you get further along in the books and they go like his humor in the books I feel a little more dry.
Mm.
It's stuff like yeah. It's just I mean, I understand can't keep everything the same for books to be, especially Harry Potter books as they get larger and larger. It changed like certain aspects and can't always keep things going. But yeah, there's definitely things that they could have, I think, done better with this character in the movie than compared with the books. Because I also think, like, when you watch the movies, when he's like playing like Quidditch, they make it seem like he can't barely even
Yeah. Like,
do anything. But it's really he was just like more nervous than anything, and stuff. Like I don't know. They downplay his skills in the movie.
yeah, and that's something like when I watched the movie, one thing I like realized was even though his family didn't necessarily have a lot of money, they were still known. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the enemies knew the Weasleys,
Oh yeah,
and it was like,
they. I don't know. Like it's not like a huge plot point in the book later on, so I'll and you've watched the movie, so it's not like you're gonna get
yeah,
spoiled. So, Molly's brothers, she has two brothers, they're twins, were killed in the first
oh,
war with Voldemort. They were
okay,
part of the Order of Phoenix
hmm
in that the first go around and stuff. So they were involved with things before
okay,
and
okay,
stuff. Not so it's not just because of Harry that they're like against all this stuff. As much as they love Harry, want to protect Harry, their family has had ties to this before, and they have lost because of that and stuff. So, um, they have that connection to it, and like I said, like they were well known, well liked wizards. Uh, yeah, so Molly has reasons why she's scared for her kids to be part of it and stuff. I don't think they mention that in the movies
Um,
about her brothers. Like, haven't watched the movies in a while.
I think there was something. I don't think
Like,
they went.
very.
Yeah, it was when Dumbledore came to pick up Harry, and they
Mm-hmm.
met in the house and discussing Order of the
Uh.
Phoenix. Like they mentioned very briefly because he was stunned. Like the Weasleys are here, and they're like, "Why are
Mm-hmm.
we here?" And it's like, "We have ties. We've been knowing what's going on." Which, like, with them having that knowledge and experience, like, I would have definitely thought, like, hey, like, he would have had like again like a different pride level in the movie. But again, his character was written for a different like kind of purpose. But I was I'm trying. I gotta see what I rated them on TikTok. Like which was my favorite, and I went with it was Half Blood Prince was my favorite, and then Deathly Hollows Part Two ran really close. Um, I
Yeah.
I I got invested the first movie. I like how the different concepts they introduced. Like I was not expecting time travel to be introduced in this series so early. I was very shocked
Yeah.
in how they pulled it off. I was very impressed. Like from them giving the rules of time travel to seeing how certain things played a part. I was
Yeah.
very impressed. I was like, "Ooh, this is actually really good."
And then yeah, it kind of shows you some of the dangers of using it, and I think later in the series, like they'll talk a little more about how restricted it actually is
Hmm.
and stuff. So
I
it's
I even so like I started playing the game as well. I like
mm-hmm,
the the in depth of like certain spells, certain things that are off limits, um,
mm-hmm,
how they have their combat, how they defend themselves, like. And I know people are like clowning me, like, "What do you mean you don't know?" I'm like, I didn't know this. I'm sorry. I was sheltered. Like the concept of how they handle magic was very well written. Like for me at 35 going to watch it, like I'm a big comic book hero. So I'm looking for explanations. And I feel like they did a very good job at here, like here are the bloodlines, here's like how they're mixed in, like they show like the different like their economy. I'm like, you can go buy spells, here's your wand. Your wands can be mixed with all these different things that do this. And I was like, wait, like this is a complete world. And I again, please don't roast me in the comments. Yes, I know it's the Harry Potter world. This is my first year. I'm an amateur. Please. I've already caught enough heat on TikTok. Like, how could you? I'm like, ah, I was actually really impressed. I'm like, this is actually nuts. Even though I was saddened by like some of the deaths, I was like, oh my god, my chest, I can't handle this anymore. Like, there's too many people
I
dying.
man, the last book when I was reading, I was staying up late reading it, and I like it was so emotional for me. Ugh. I got to tell. Oh, the maybe I should just tell the story about my mom spoiling the fifth book for me.
So mean, so mean.
I've told this story to you before.
Yep.
So the fifth book came out, and yeah, there was multiple of us home. So why we did go get the book at midnight, we didn't get enough copies for everyone. That would be too much. We got like I think two or three copies at a time and stuff, and then someone whoever got it first, we had to wait. And my mom was reading it first, one of the copies, and I'd been. When did the fifth book come out? It was in middle school, and I believe it was before. I mean, it was before the spring of 2005 because that's when my mom passed away. So like, but it was when I was in middle school and I was being like a brat. I was being a middle school brat and stuff. She was we were watching Law and Order. Another thing we did with my mom a lot, just watch Law and Order. And the word came up. They were asking about the VIG on something, and she was all like, "Do you guys know what what a VIG is?" And I was like, "Or do you want to know what a VIG is?" That's what she said. And I was like, "If I say no, are you going to tell me anyways?" And she did not like that.
Oh,
And so once she told me what a VIG was, which is the money owed to a loan shark. And then she spoiled this. I'm telling right now, I'm spoiling if nobody knows this about this. She spoiled Sirius's death in
oh yeah.
the fifth Harry Potter book for me. That was my punishment.
Oh my God.
for being a smart aleck. So yeah, fun memories of Harry Potter stuff. So I already knew that was coming before I even read the book.
Oh my God. Yeah. His death caught me off guard because
Yeah,
I thought
you're like he's just actually gonna be able to spend time with him.
I was like, oh my God, like, okay, he makes it out, they've got him hidden. I'm like, okay, now Harry's finna go off, be with his godfather, and he's finna be like this crazy wizard. And I was like, there's no way they killed him off. There's no way. Like, how could you? Like, he's just going through these terrible years with his terrible aunt and uncle, like, who are like horrible, and then his godfather's him like he's gonna save the day. Harry's gonna go off and be great, and then it's like boom, and I'm like, no way. Like, this is so terrible. Like, ugh.
I was like, oh, so sad. And then you find out that he had access to him the whole time with that mirror, and you're just like,
That poor kid.
you're like Harry. Oh, they.
I'm just like, bro, like Harry cannot catch a break. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad he, I guess his uncle's sister. I'm so glad he made her float away. So glad. I know that breaks the rules. I was like, finally, like, because again, I don't know if my daughter woke up tomorrow and she had like the knowledge that they have to do spells. I don't think I would treat her badly. And I'm like,
Yeah, but Aunt Marge didn't know
ah,
about them being magical.
but it was like his uncle and aunt knew, and I'm just like, like,
Yeah.
you know what happened, you know what's going on, and like you're not thinking like, not saying that they should be afraid of him, but come on, like you're treating him bad. Like one day he's gonna snap and be like, I'm sick of this, you know, and yeah.
Well, but because of Harry's mom and Petunia being her sister growing up, she knows that he can't do certain things. She's more knowledgeable about like the laws and rules than she lets on.
And that's what was making me mad. Cause I'm like, that's your sister. Like, she passed away. Like, this is your nephew. Like,
again, it's a
but
jealousy
yeah. It's like,
because she got left behind.
it's so, this whole series, like, jealousy is just running rampant from like even from Snape loving Harry's mom. I'm like, this is nuts. I'm like, so you're upset.
It's a lot of greed and jealousy and
it's a very good series, but it just caught me off guard. And I'm like, wait, Snape, like, wait, you're in love with Harry's mom? Is that why you're treating him terrible? And it's like, wait, you got a grudge more with Dumbledore because he didn't protect your love interest. And I'm like, this is nuts. I'm like,
So I think something in the movies, they aged up Snape and like the parents and like Professor Lupin and Sirius because of Alan Rickman playing Snape. So they aged them up because in the book series they're early 20s, barely 20 when they had Harry or something. So like you still like the Snape that made that deal with Voldemort about stuff and like the jealousy with it, it was still young and how he grew up. Like, so it's just, I'm not saying he was right or he had good reason to act like that, but there is
Yeah,
there's reason like why he act like that. I feel like I'm wondering if they were actually older, if he would have been able to control emotions a little better, but probably not because again how he grew up.
yeah,
Like
yeah. Because I was like,
I I mean we've talked about different things about with parenting and like kids and their emotional needs and learning how to deal with emotions, and it's a lot of the parents and
oh yeah,
you see examples in the books of like parents that are able to even teach their kids better emotional regulation and how to like deal with certain jealousies or like deal just with the world and ones that don't. Just like in I feel like in real life you can tell which kids like have parents that are showing them how to like deal with emotions.
yeah. Because this series is very emotionally charged. Like even watching it, there's like you got Harry, your main character, who has lost his parents, then loses his godfather, and like every family has had some type of loss. Like even the scene in Goblet of Fire when Cedric died after I was so like thrown off.
That that actor that plays Cedric Dad, that like yell and him like covering his body like it was very
It was so
emotional, like
emotional.
very emotional. And like I feel like after having a kid, it does hit differently when we watch that. I know for Nate, like he has said on multiple occasions, like when he's watching movies that have like parents and like kids, not like he feels that a lot more after having Wilder.
Yeah,
And that's just the start of the deaths that are to come in the series after that.
it was so like it. I think I was watching it with Nikki, and she was like, "You're finna get it," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So, because I mean, they're doing the race, they're following everything, and then
Mm-hmm.
I thought that their encounter and what they were doing in the graveyard with Voldemort was like just one of those visions again. And then when I
Mm-hmm.
realized, like, oh no, this is legit happening. And when he died and they were brought back and everyone's cheering, like, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
Harry's sitting there just like freaking out.
Just went, yeah.
And he's like, we done seen this guy is back. He's dead. And then the dad is just like that quiet while people's realizing, and he just like lets out this cry. I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my word. Like, they're like, are you all right? I'm like, no, I'm not all right. Like, why do the good people keep dying? Why? What is happening here? And I was like, okay, yeah, there's definitely a whole lot more in this series. I was like, this is absolutely bananas. But yeah, it was super emotional. Like even when Dumbledore died, I was like, what? Huh? What? Like, and of course I know the original actor, he passed away before they were finished, so it's like
Yeah.
it was just so much. Like I was definitely not
Yeah.
expecting Cedric to actually die. I'm thinking like, okay, like something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna realize and they're gonna get brought back. And I'm like, no, he's actually dead. And then Harry just comes back with this corpse, and I'm like, this dude is finna need therapy for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my god, it was
You're,
crazy.
it's like that the end of the fourth book, you're like, oh, this series is changing. It's gonna go into the darkness of certain things, and
Yeah, I was
I think
not expecting that at all.
I think and I think Goblet of Fire is the longest book. It's either that or Order of the Phoenix. Those two are the longest books. And
Yeah,
I really am sad that the author is just cuckoo bananas now.
that whole series, like I like
Hey,
lore.
and I'm not saying it's a perfect series, and she doesn't,
Yeah,
have certain things in there that you're like, maybe this could have been changed. I've mentioned before by having the Asian student called Cho Chang. You're like, maybe we could have come up with a different name.
in anything like it was like I was very like I said I was very impressed, and so of course everybody that commented was like, "You're gonna love the books even more because of certain details and things." I'm like, I don't know how you can take this scene and tell me that there's more to it because I was literally caught so off guard. Like, and then all the backstory on certain things, like from the whole wand ownership, like
Mm-hmm.
that took me a second because it's like, wait a minute. So this wand that he's wanting, you can only get it by killing the person who originally had it, and then it's okay. Well, they have it. You have to disable this person to take it to get, I guess, authority over it. And I was like,
Yeah, because you can use it without having it, but it's not going to be as powerful. It's not
yeah.
going to recognize you as the owner if you didn't disarm
And
the person or take it from them like in a certain way.
that took
If you're
me.
just given it, it doesn't. The wand doesn't like
Yeah,
recognize you
it
as the
was.
owner.
That was. I was like, I had to go back and like, wait a minute. Like, okay, so, okay, like Malfoy, you killed. Well, Snape technically killed
Yeah, but
Dumbledore.
Draco disarmed
Yeah,
Dumbledore before.
he disabled him.
That's
So
what
it's
did it. Like
his.
yeah.
And then Harry ended up disabling Draco because
Mm-hmm.
when Voldemort's like, "Well, I'm trying to get it from Snape," it's like, "Well, yeah, Snape's
Snape
dead
wasn't the
now, but
one
he
that.
wasn't the one." I was like,
And I think
"Oh,
I don't know if Voldemort understood that part, or if he just didn't know Draco was the one that disarmed
I think that was the
Dumbledore, or if he thought it was, oh, you have to kill them
yeah,
because to get it, because that's also just a very Voldemort thing. It's like, oh, I have to kill to get
yeah,"
power.
because that was the only reason that I mean Snape was killed because he's like, I thought
Mm-hmm.
you did it, no, and that was like a whole. I was like, these moments like this where it's like call back and forth. I'm like, this is actually incredible. Like they're like the whole going back and forth in time had me applauding them. Um, the areas like just the castle itself, like from the very last movie when they're calling out these rock golems or statues to defend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I'm sold. I'm like, can I do this in the game, please? Can I please do this in the game? They're like, no. I'm like, this is not fair. I need like everything needs to be available to me because this is great.
Yeah.
Like even though yes, I'm having issues with Ron, like the whole like Harry Potter world and stuff. I'm like, this is really really great. Like I think my favorite twist was Tom Riddle because I didn't know what was going on, and then I'm like, I'm watching it, and of course everyone's laughing at me because we're in like a group call, and I'm like hosting the video, and I'm just like, like, what does that to do with this? And I'm watching, and then like it gets to the end, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no way this guy. And then they're like, it took you long enough. I'm like, what? It's my first time watching it. You guys have way too much pressure on me. Like, there's no way that Tom Riddle is actually Voldemort. They're like, yeah. I'm like, no. How? Wait. Like, this isn't like, how did they wrap this? I give it to the author. Like, they have very good writing, and somebody again who had never watched it, I was very, very impressed. I was like, oh yeah, they were the Marvel before Marvel. Like the plot twist, and like it was nuts. It was nuts. I would definitely like read it and watch it again. I think Demaya wants to watch it like the whole series,
Yeah.
but I'm like, probably watch one movie a weekend. It was long trying to watch a movie like a day or every other day.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember where I saw if I saw it on her website or if it was like a little mini documentary that I watched like way back in the day that she was showing all the notebooks she had there where she had written out timelines and plots and like connections for stories. Like she had an idea where everything was going on already from the beginning. She had things planned out. Like, because they started filming the movies before she was done writing the books. And I
Mm.
believe she had said that, like, she had told Alan Rickman the ending of his story and the ending of Snape and, like, his motivations behind things and, like, who he was
Wow.
and stuff. So he could, use that in the acting and stuff. Like, so he knew before all that was, like, actually, like, written down and published. Like, where everything was heading as far as that his character in the back and his background. And so like like the world is very in depth. There's so much.
Because I oh like I bring up the time travel thing because like when they did it, like their explanation of the risks and why we don't do it, it was on the level of, again, like our scientists like around now, like, hey, we don't mess with certain things like this, and like how they portrayed the scenes and how their actions affected it. I was like, this is so well written.
Oh yeah.
Like it gives you
Time
everything you
travel can
need.
be hard to write. You have to there's a lot you have to take into account and then sometimes you just people are just like, "Well, that's
Yeah.
just how it
And
is."
I was like, this is like the level of like for a new person to watch it and be able to understand it, like that's one of my issues with like movies now, like especially Marvel, is when you introduce something that's new, you should spend time educating your audience so you understand it
Mhm.
versus like skipping over it. One of the movies I used as a reference was the Eternals by Marvel,
Mhm.
and people were like, what do you mean? I said they introduced the universal like beings in a short span of time. You just changed the entire script and you didn't take the time to explain to your audience why they're important, like what's the like you didn't explain enough detail about what's happening, and that's why people didn't understand it and want to go see it. And then now they're like backtracking like, well, maybe we'll make a second one. I'm like, after seeing like this quality, it's like, come on now, like, come on, guys. Like, if she can explain this, it's like, come on, yeah. Oh
Exactly.
yes, it's like, come on, guys. Like again, like after being an actual first time watcher and reader, it was like, yeah, I can actually understand what's happening. Like even though of course
Mhm.
you leave plot holes for future events, by the end of the movie, I'm able to understand what's happening, like characters, like these special moments, like even the horror cruxes. Like I was like, wait, and then find out like, oh yeah, Harry, you're a Horcrux too. Like, huh? Like, okay, because you explain what these are, oh, I can understand why the mark Harry is one. Okay, makes
Mm-hmm.
sense, and it adds to the story. But it's like, come on, Marvel, like you got all this money, like at least explain it, right? Like, but yeah, I've enjoyed it. I have to finish the game. I'm already being harassed because I haven't finished it yet. Which even the game does a great job at like, hey, you're here. Here's how we do this. This is what you don't do. This is what you watch out
Mm-hmm.
for. I'm like, okay, all right.
Any more on your
Um,
hatred of Ron?
no, I think I have all my hatred out. It's just not like him in the book is so different.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's so different. Like I even went back and watched part of the first movie, and I'm like, they really like they really like flipped them. Like, and again, I looked up why they need comedy relief or comedic relief. It has to do with in the words from Google, it's to lessen the emotional tension. Which
Mm-hmm.
again, if you only talked about Harry, it'll be emotional like the entire series. So I'm like, okay, I understand. You got Ron Weasley here to kind of bring the mood back in, but it's like he's more than that in the book. Like we couldn't have picked nobody else to be comedic relief, like anybody else, or like a joke here is fine, but jeez.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I will digress for now until I finish reading all the books, and then I'll probably have even more.
Oh yeah, you'll have to update us. I'll have to send you some also old school Harry Potter like YouTube stuff.
Oh yes, because it's yes, the Harry Potter fandom is huge. I'm trying to choose
Mm-hmm.
my words very carefully.
Now, do you want to take a sorting hat quiz?
Yes, yes,
Since I think the site is not hers anymore, we discussed that it is bought by Warner Bros.
yes.
and Universal. I would say just take it on there because it's not Pottermore where it's just it's all encompassing Harry Potter stuff. And since I don't see people calling for a boycott of Universal because of it, I would say just take it on the site. There's no advertisement. You're not buying anything, so
Okay, start the sorting
just take it on the
ceremony.
site.
All right, let's see what I get. If I had the power, what would I choose? Oh my god. It's just okay, I'm gonna go with this one. Oh my god. If you're attending Hogwarts, what pet would you choose to take with you? Oh lord. Okay.
At both times I've taken it because I think when it first came out, I had like that quiz. I got Slytherin, and then like had to re-register or something, redo it
Oh
when they
yeah.
redid the site or something, and I got Slytherin again.
Which of the wait, what? You and two
I mean,
friends
you
need to
already
cross
started
some
it.
beds guarded by a river troll who assists on oh yeah, it's definitely this is definitely me. I'm just gonna jump the troll. Okay, the sorting hat is ready to make its decision. Oh boy. Wow. Okay, so it says that I am Hufflepuff. You probably noticed I am
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff. The most renowned members including Nymphadora Tonks and Cedric Diggory, but did you know that Hufflepuff's house ghost the Fat Friar? Oh my god. Oh, okay, so well, I am Hufflepuff. Sorted today 49,030 fellow Hufflepuffs. my Lord's gonna actually clown on me. Like, how did you get a totally different house? I don't know. I've grown. I've changed.
You're the opposite of Nate. Nate was Hufflepuff first and then got Gryffindor.
Wow, Nate hacked the site.
So there, I found like someone that kind of feels like they made like a good summary of what they think house personalities are. Let's see what you think. So this is a Hufflepuff: harmonizers, empathetic people who care for others, listen, who understand and accept emotions, comfortable with being part of something rather than outstanding, driven by nature and community.
That is definitely me.
Yeah, this is what it says about Slytherin for me. Survivors, curious, people who push their own situation, who know how to convince others, who can dribble the system, who know their value and the value of others, driven by improving their life.
Interesting. This like, oh wait, where can I share my house at? Okay, I can just copy the link. A message from your prefect. Oh my god, this is actually cool. Oh, this supposed to be coming out with a TV show, like a reboot of the books.
Yeah, so HBO is doing a series. And it's supposed to be able to do more with the books, like kind of follow it, and they're following more. I think from what pictures I've seen of it, they're making it look like the time that it's in, because like in the movies when they're making it in the book, they don't really talk about the timeline and stuff, but I believe that the actual like timeline and stuff is like they're at Hogwarts like in the 90s, I believe.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
And there's a whole thing with some of the casting on their choices on that I'm like, okay, if that's how you're gonna go with. I think a lot of people are concerned about the Snape casting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
stuff about that.
I mean, that is gonna be kind of tough.
A very handsome black man as Snape.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm all like, I think there's a lot of people that are concerned. Okay, well, Snape is described as greasy haired, hooked nose, and like,
yeah,
not the most handsome. And then people are like, Harry instantly doesn't like Snape, and people are like, you're gonna make him dislike a black character just by like his look, like looking at him, just like being like. And people are like, that's kind of.
I mean, like the only thing I can kind of like toss up.
And then it's like you get into the bullying scenes in the 5th book where they turn him up, they hang him in the air upside down. Like, I think people are just concerned about how that looks with.
I mean,
that like, and again, this I want your opinion on that because I
so like
don't really know.
What I'm seeing now with technology and with improved like makeup, they could make him look the part based on the description. I think that it's, again, it says it's a reboot of the series, or like it's, so if they're following the series and that happens, I'm thinking more people who have seen it are going to be like, this is what's coming, versus like they shouldn't do this. Like it's already been shown once in the movie, like.
Well, I think what people are concerned about is that Alan Rickman and in the book Snape are white, and so now they're putting a black actor as the character Snape and putting them in a situation where the actions portrays it like
it's gonna look really different. It's gonna look really it can look really bad.
And then Harry, like the first potions or the first time Harry sees Snape at the opening feast, he's like, I don't like that dude. He gives me a bad feeling. And they're making it a black man. It's kind of like
I, I personally think now, knowing what happened. I guess the thing is knowing what happens in the series. Like it doesn't bother me as much.
it's just with all the other stuff that has been
Yeah.
happening around Harry Potter and some of the stuff, and then some people's already criticism of some things in the books, even and like a little bit. It's just like another thing that people are like, okay, like, do you have to do it like that?
I want now. The other aspect is I'm thinking about auditions, right? Was his audition that compelling that they picked him despite? Because again, if you're doing an audition for a part that the character is already like like set, like this is what we're looking for. What if they couldn't? I'm only saying this. What if they couldn't find anyone who could fit? Like, I'm thinking more of a skill level because, I mean, they could pull a Darth Vader and change his skin like physically, like in editing. I'm not saying however they do it, but I'm assuming like if they pick this gentleman, like he's gotta know there's gonna be backlash, like no matter what. As we've seen in movies, there's a backlash every time there's a depiction and it changes. There's
Yeah.
always going to be something, and
Here, I'm gonna send you a picture of the actor.
yeah, I'm looking at him
Chat.
now, like
Oh, okay.
I'm like again, if I'm HBO, they've got to have something else than just like this is it. Because again, I remember hearing like a big issue like this when Passion of Christ came out. Even though that's a very emotional movie, some people are like, that's not how he looks based on, what the Bible says or scholar says. But I'm wondering, like, HBO's got to have something up their sleeve because I don't see anything else where they're like, he's not doing it. Like they're still like preparing.
Yeah, it's just like I said, people get like
Yeah, they go.
concerned about things. They're just like, it's just with, like I said, everything else with the series. People are just like, yeah, it's just causing some concern.
They're
with
gonna make a
people.
lot of memes, especially with that particular scene. If they do that scene, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
If they
they could change it,
Yep.
which would probably be best for them to figure out a different
Because
way of doing that.
yeah, they definitely may change, and I'm really good sure they may not show everything just for that reason.
And I mean, I don't want people to, if they're gonna hate, if they're just not gonna watch the show, don't watch the show, and just don't go after the child actors.
Yeah, because it's when
Criticize the adult actors if you want, whatever, they can handle it.
leave the
Like
kids alone. But
but fandom has a history of just not Harry Potter fandom alone. Like
Oh my God.
like for some reason they will even talk about kids, and I'm just like,
I'm
they're
like
just kids.
I am learning more and more that the things that we as humans enjoy most to our hearts, we are die hard for. Like I forgot what movie it was. People were losing their minds over The Little Mermaid, and it got to the point where you got marine biologists jumping in a conversation like, well, this is possible, this isn't possible. And it's like, well, can we still enjoy the film? Can we enjoy the story? No, because it's not lined up correctly. And I'm like, we've watched a million movies that we know full well that is not going to happen.
I do kind of wonder sometimes what happened to people's ability just to like kind of just be like, it's just a movie, not everything has to be rooted in complete science. Nothing has to be completely real. Like, it's magical. Like, it's not meant to always be rooted in reality.
Yeah.
Like, just suspend your disbelief for a little bit.
So like even with like the Halo TV show, like as a fan of Halo, reading books, playing games, um, the show like ruined like a moment, like immediately like cast down. Like Master Chief took off his helmet. We've never seen his face before in 15, 20 years of gaming, and it's like you just ripped this band-aid off, and it's like, do I go back to try to watch it to enjoy it, or am I like crushed by the main portion that I love like has changed? Because I know a lot of other movies, it's like I don't want to watch anymore because it's not how I remember or want to, and it's like we're not always going to be able to match it perfectly. Like as much as I would like to, it's not going to happen. Like and just
Yeah.
enjoy the production of it. Like I love Transformers. Half the stuff in there that people like some of the humans were doing, I was like, there's absolutely no way you're not surviving a rocket being shot at you from a 50-foot like robot. Absolutely not. But it's like, okay.
But then you're like, well, these robot cars aren't real
yeah,
either.
yeah. So it's like, okay, well maybe there's a chance.
Well, I think I've reached the end of our discussion today on Harry Potter and how Movie Ron sucks. And as you continue with the books, we can talk about later on how your feelings are on him, if they get better, or if you think he's as bad in the books as he is in the movies. And then we can maybe make a little update somewhere along the way on that. And we can end here with a nice thank you to everyone that stuck around.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. We'll catch y'all on the next episode.